Okay, once again, welcome ladies and gentlemen. And if it is the first time to view this video, remember to subscribe because sometimes you watch but you forget to subscribe on this channel. Yes, this is MIKEANN'S reaction, and today's news is about the Jamaicans people who lived in Jamaica and go for a different country like Canada to search some job opportunity, but when they reached there, things went wrong or things went different the way they expected to get jobs and to find the green pastures in Canada. But watch this video, then I will come for more reaction on it. But if it is your first time, please remember to subscribe on this channel. Remember to like, to comment, and to share. Thank you. Yours Mike Ann's reaction. As you are watching, I'm coming back.
And you know the thing what hurt me the most? I spent $4 million to do a course. A course where no qualify if you do nothing nowhere else. And just as me graduate and settle down, the Canadian government write and give me notice to leave Canada in 24 hours. And because we couldn't get a plane ticket in such a short time, and we couldn't reach to the people them a response for you. The shelter, whatever the people them name, the Jamaican Association people them come and them pick us up and then deported us. They have us, carry us, go and lock us up and deported us in less than 24 hours and keep back all of our things and our money.
Hey guys, so I wanted to address the elephant in the room, or rather the elephant on my TikTok page. I posted a video of me like just sitting on the train talking with like the caption that I want to leave Canada back to Jamaica because I'm so unhappy here. And I just wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about why I want to leave Canada, basically. I posted another TikTok video after that and I deleted it because I was like, you know what, I just want to talk more about this specific topic because it blew up and I never thought that that video specifically would blow up in the way that it did. It currently has about 33,000 views and over 600 comments of like persons talking about the experience that they have. And I felt very validated. I felt like, oh my God, there's so many other persons that feel exactly the way that I do. And I just want to talk about that. So I'm going to do that while I do my skincare, which is why my face looks so dry. I already washed my face and I'm just going to use my The Ordinary. So guys, for those of you that do not know, and most of you wouldn't know because I don't post too much of like my personal stuff on TikTok. I do that more so on YouTube. I have a YouTube video, I'll link it in my comments. But I came to Canada in August of 2020, like right in the middle of the pandemic. And I have been here in Toronto for almost 3 years. So August this year will be 3 years. So to be honest, I haven't been in Canada for that long, but let me tell you, I want to leave. Like, I want to leave. I am tired of it. And these are the reasons why. So the first thing is that the depression and my mental health has severely declined since moving to Canada. I've never had this issue before in Jamaica. And I believe the reason for that is just because Canada is a big place. So I'm going to talk specifically about Toronto. But it's very lonely here, especially if you made the move by yourself. It's very lonely, it's difficult to make friends, and even with friends, there is just not that community, there is not that camaraderie that you have and feel like back home, like if you're from a small island, you know. So it's like really lonely here. People are very much like, you know, focused with blinders on. They don't really see you. You know, people don't see you. People don't really stop to talk to you on the road. I don't know what it is about North America or just specifically Canada, but it gets very lonely here, and I think for me that was one of the biggest things. The second thing is, before I get into that, I'm going to moisturize with my CeraVe. The second thing is that the weather compiled with the loneliness makes it even harder, and also the weather will exacerbate certain health issues that you know may have had, but it didn't really manifest itself until you moved. So 6 months out of the year, it's winter here. The seasonal depression is a real thing, and it's just hard. You're inside all the time, you're not getting vitamin D, you're not getting any sun, and then with the just the fact that people are really not close-knit, people don't really talk to you, you don't really have a community here. I feel like you have to be here for years to really develop a community, and you'll never really feel like you belong, if that makes sense, as an immigrant. Like, you're here but you don't really feel like you belong. I feel that sometimes. So the weather, the loneliness, and a very important thing, the cost of living. I kind of feel like, and listen, take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. I should have made a disclaimer. This is my experience. This is how I feel. And I don't want anybody coming for me. But I kind of feel like I was sold something that's not really, oh my God, that's not really how it is. Like, I was sold a dream. I thought that Canada was a particular way. And then when I came here, I felt like I was ripped off. I felt like it was kind of a scam. And granted, things have changed significantly and drastically over the past few years, especially after the pandemic. But boy, when I tell you, the cost of living here is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Rent prices right now in Toronto average $2,000 to $2,500 for one bedroom, $2,500. And when you compare that to the average wage that person's making in Toronto, which is around $45,000 to $50,000, that makes no sense. An average person in Toronto, an average single person living here, will never be able to purchase their own home, and that's a fact. And even if you have a partner, it still would be very, very difficult, and you're going to be house poor. Food prices have risen significantly, and granted, that is there. That's present everywhere right now because of inflation, but coupled with the rising rent prices and just like overall cost of living, just to live, right? It's crazy. So I feel like at this point, like, I made the move for like to get a better life and new opportunities and stuff like that, and to me it's like, it's not really working out the way I thought that it would be. So I'm like, why am I here? The point of all of this was to come to make a better life, like to be able to afford certain things that I wouldn't necessarily be able to afford if I was in Jamaica. But honestly, it's just not giving. I'm gonna put on sunscreen. So another one of the things that made me really want to move back to Jamaica rather, is just because of the fact that it's also difficult to find a partner. The dating scene really sucks, and when I tell you it is difficult, I've actually done research on why it is so difficult to date in Toronto, or just the pool is empty. I don't know what, people are in the pool, but the people them don't make no sense. That's all I have to say about that. It's really difficult to date here and to like find a partner if you are single, and that adds to just the loneliness, the sadness, the depression, whatever. Taxes are really high, and that adds to like the overall cost of living. And yeah, like for the most part, I feel like those are the main reasons why it's like so difficult to be here and to adjust and to like see myself here in the long term. Granted, like I am trying my best to be here and to live and to like explore and to experience everything that this city, this country has to offer, and take advantage of the benefits. So with that being said, I mean, I'm still here obviously, but I feel like in the long term that Canada may not be for me, and those are some of the reasons why. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to take every single thing that Canada has to offer, every benefit, every opportunity that comes my way. I'm going to take it until such time I'm ready to leave. So I hope you guys, for the persons that commented that they were feeling the same way, go and hold the faith. You know, just try to stay motivated, try to stay positive, try to meet people, try to go out as much as possible, especially now in the summertime. That's what I'm doing. And yeah, thank you guys so much again for the love and also the support on that video, and I'll see you guys.
Let's talk about how different my lifestyle is in Canada compared to when I was living in Jamaica. When I was living in Jamaica, I was in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment in rural Jamaica. To rent that space, I was only paying like 30,000 Jamaican dollars for the month. Versus here in Canada, I spend about $2,550 a month. I live in a condo and it has really nice views. I'm close to a lot of malls, restaurants. I think up here, I kind of prioritize where I'm living versus anything else. I feel like my diet since I've been in Canada has been healthier. In Jamaica, I was buying way less fruits and vegetables, and that might sound funny, like that's a tropical island, I'm supposed to be having more fruits and vegetables. In Canada, every single time I go to the grocery store, I'm buying bulk grapes, bulk strawberries, and on top of that, I'm also buying spinach, kale, celery. Vegetables cost so much more in Jamaica. I can't buy spinach in Jamaica. I think here too, in Jamaica, I was buying things like, you know, almond milk, oat milk, but not as freely. So yeah, the diet is absolutely different. In terms of recreation, Jamaica, I'm going ATVs, going ziplining. I find myself doing things outside of what I'm used to doing in Jamaica. Game rooms, bowling alleys, escape rooms, doing more indoor activities because I'm living in Canada. I find myself traveling less since living in Canada versus when I was living in Jamaica. So when I was living in Jamaica, I was flying out the country so often. I think I came to a point in Jamaica where I just kind of wanted to go explore. But in Canada, there are so many different cultures that you feel like you're experiencing something different each time you go somewhere. For example, like a 4-hour drive when I'm in Montreal. That's a whole other type of culture. It's a bit easier to make friends in Jamaica, I would say, than it is here for me. Because there are, you know, other cultures here too. You tend to kind of get in your shell a little bit. A lot of persons kind of stay within their groups. I am not as outgoing as I am when I'm in Jamaica. Since I've been here, I am a lot more driven to start and pursue goals outside of medicine versus in Jamaica I was focused on just one aspect of me. Since I've been here, there has been so many business opportunities and career growth for me that I'm very blessed and very grateful for, versus when I compared to like Jamaica, it wasn't as diverse as I am now. For example, here now I have 2 businesses. I have done medicine in Western medicine as well as alternate medicine. I had a really good career in Jamaica. It's just a bit more diverse here. So in Jamaica, I had my 9 to 5, but I was just doing that a lot, like 5-6 days, sometimes 7 days a week. Versus here in Canada, I do less of my 9 to 5, but because of, I think the work-life balance is a little better, I have ended up starting other things like businesses. So I end up now putting that time to the business. So at the end of it all, it's about the same. So that is it in a nutshell. I hope my transparency, as always, helps someone out there.
Yep. I'm off. I'm deporting myself before I get deported. I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going home, guys. Please, 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 please. Wish me good luck.
Yo, I couldn't wait to get home to make this video. I've been holding this back for far too long. I want to ask you people a few questions. I want to ask Canadians in particular a few questions. I live here with my family in British Columbia, Canada. The question is, why when my kids go to the playground, why is it that no white children want to play with them? Why is it that all the white children shy away and look weird or make crazy faces as if they're scorning my kids? The other question is, because I know you might be thinking it's just my kid, but why is it that other non-white parents have the same problem? What are you people telling your children? It's obvious it's nothing good. Nothing good about non-white people because it's obvious in the children. And this is why racism will never go away. But you know what? I'm not doing this for sympathy or anything. Actually, I don't need any sympathy from anyone. I'm just saying I lived in a few provinces in Canada and I've seen it many times. Many times. Against me, against my wife. But when it's against my children, that's a different story. And I'm not playing around. My Caribbean people, the ones with the brain, not the ones who are trying to conform, not the ones who are trying to fit in, the ones who understand what's going on. Canada is a very racist country. They act and they say otherwise as if it's not true, but it's true. I've lived it. And now my children are experiencing it. I just want to say for all the racist people, the people who say they are not racist, racism is a form of stupidity. Not just ignorance, stupidity. And if you're a racist person, you are a stupid person. I see my little 4-year-old girl going to the playground to make friends. She approached children and she talked to them, make conversation when kids are playing. And if they're not black or if they're not non-white, I should say, then it's a no-no. The kids are like acting as if they're scorning my children. Growing up in Jamaica, I know that kids, not just Jamaica, I'm not stupid. I lived in the States too. Kids play with kids. They don't have to introduce themselves to each other. They just see an opportunity to play. But not these children. What is happening? What is happening? What are the parents doing? What are the parents saying? What are the parents telling the kids about black people, about Indian people, about brown people? What are the children, what are the parents doing? I have a home. I don't have to stay here and let my kids endure all this stupidity from stupid people. This Canadian life is just an experience. My people, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. I was not fooled. But when things happen to my kids, then that's a different thing. Different story. One thing, I have to say one thing. Nothing lasts forever. Tables always turn. Remember.
So a lot of my friends and family, particular in Jamaica, asking me what is my experience being in Canada, because they want to make the transition. Now, this video is not to discourage anybody from coming to Canada. If you feel like Canada is a place that you want to come and live and, you know, start your family, feel free. Don't let this discourage you. But I want to share the realities of Canada. I've been here for the last almost 60 years, and Canada has been, it's different from after COVID. Canada has changed significantly in a number of areas, and I'll speak to some of the areas that I think Canada changed a lot in. When it comes on to taxes, Canada, I think, have one of the highest taxes in the world. So the more money you earn, the more tax you pay in Canada. It's like the higher you climb is the higher the government take money out of your pay. So you're paying, as I'm up to 47% of your income in Canada that goes to tax. So it's very tax heavy in Canada. The other thing that I noticed in Canada is that after COVID, the price of food went right through the doors. Like literally, you can go to supermarket with 100 Canadian dollar and you come out back with absolutely nothing. Just two, probably, if you get 2 bags with $100, you get a lot. Food over the last 2 years, particularly 3 years, skyrocket high. The cost of living versus what you're getting for your pay, what you're getting for to buy for food, absolutely ridiculous. The other thing is rent. Now, Canada have this. So before COVID, you could get a 2-bedroom for like 1,100 Canadian dollars, $1,200. Now, after COVID, the same apartment, the apartment that I live on, I got my apartment before COVID, so I got in a very comfortable rate for a 2-bedroom apartment. Now, I have some friends who moved from Jamaica
and there were some vacancies on this apartment, and they live here, and they're paying $1,800 for the same 2-bedroom, and when they move, the landlord charging $2,200 for the same 2-bedroom. So rent in Canada, it's very, very, very expensive. When you talk about the healthcare, no, Canada have free healthcare because they use the taxes that we pay to provide free healthcare. But when you go to the hospital, it's like it's no different from an underdeveloped country where you're waiting hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, like literally waiting for 8 hours. You go to the hospital from 7 a.m. in the morning, you're not getting through, and I kid you not, you're not getting through until around maybe 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. That's when you actually get to see a doctor, because there is a shortage in the healthcare workers. There is no doctor, and you can't go to a private doctor. You can't say, all right, you have your money, so you're gonna go to a private doctor. Canada not deal with private doctor. The rich, the poor, everybody goes to one hospital. Furthermore, you can't even get a family doctor. There's a 6 months waiting list to even get a family doctor here in Canada. The other challenge with the reality of Canada is, honestly, Canada boring. Canada boring. There is nothing to do. It's good when you have like your own community, that you can have that level of culture. You know, you have your Jamaican community, you have the other ethnic groups who have their community. Community is big. If you don't have a community in Canada, man, Canada is boring. Now have nothing to do. So I'm grateful that here we form a nice little community where people can display culture, you can talk your language, you can cook your food, and you just feel Jamaican. Without that being present, Canada boring. So a lot of people just work in Canada and save them money so that they can travel to different countries. That's what I've been doing over the last couple of years. Like me, I can't stay 12 months in Canada. It's not possible. It's not possible. Yeah. So at the end of the day, Canada is still good in some instances where, you know, the crime and violence is not as bad. They have good gun laws, but overall, if you're not a strong person, if you don't have community and you don't have the support, Canada is very, very depressing. And I'm grateful to be here, and I'm not discouraging anybody from coming. You can come and you may find it to be good. The other thing is I want to mention is that with this current government, what they're doing, they're reversing a number of the immigration programs that they had for people to get easy access in Canada. So a lot of temporary residents, a lot of people going back to their countries. Trust me, if you do the research right now, a lot of people going back to their countries because people just cannot afford to live in Canada anymore, or the government make it so difficult for persons now to obtain permanent residence in this country. But still grateful to be here, but I just wish things will change soon. That's just my reality of Canada.
We have learned from this government's own immigration documents that nearly 5 million people will have their temporary visas expire next year. The Minister of Immigration was asked for his plan in committee yesterday, but he had no plan. Can the Prime Minister correct his minister and tell us his plan to enforce and ensure that the nearly 5 million people that leave Canada when their visas expire next year?
The Honourable Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Refugees.
Let's examine the latest round of hysteria from the Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Speaker. We're talking about 4.9 million documents that apply, sometimes many to one person. These are tourists. These are people, the vast majority of whom leave the country, including artists that come to this country, including Bruce Springsteen and others. Meanwhile, when people's visas expire, Mr. Speaker, they are expected to leave. If they are not, they will be removed. At the same time, the Leader of the Opposition is walking around with the member of Edmonton Millwoods promising not to deport people.
The honourable member for Oxford.
Mr. Speaker, again, there's no plan from this minister. And after 9 years of breaking our immigration system, his plan is to ask them to leave nicely. And now they're staring at 25% tariffs on all Canadian goods that will crush our Canadian workers and cripple our economy. We need a Canada First plan that fixes the immigration system and ensures that the 5 million people will leave when their visas expire next year. When will we see that plan?
The Honourable Minister of Immigration, Citizenship and Refugees.
Mr. Speaker, again, we see now the Conservatives rollover first program. They're talking about people that are here that do routinely leave the country. They come in as tourists. It includes a vast array of people. He's answering an OPQ question that they posed us. We were very precise in the answers they gave it. Sometimes it's not 5 million people, Mr. Speaker. It's a number of documents attached to the same person. So let's park the hysteria. Let's talk about real things. Let's talk about the managed plan to migration that is actually doing very well in this country, according to Canadians.
Hear, hear.
I am not going to speak for anybody else. I'm going to speak for me. Personally, there's nothing in Canada to miss. When we were growing up, we were cultured that foreign is greener pasture and America, Canada and England are greener pastures and everybody wanting to go. And that is one of the biggest lie that could ever endow on the Caribbean people. Caribbean people rich in love, in help, in kindness, in being your brother's keeper. That is not in first world country. What happened is that they trick us, tell us to go to America to work because of green pasture. And they build up these expensive houses and charge us 250,000 Jamaican dollars, which is 2,000 odd Canadian dollars for rent. And then we have to pay those big rents, and those persons move to the Caribbean, buy houses at the waterfront, and have us maintaining their lifestyle. So they come to the Caribbean, they open up businesses, they buy out the hotels, and all of them are in the Caribbean running wholesales, running hotels, running restaurants, whilst we are the slaves in their country to help them to make their dream come true. Going to Canada was one of the biggest mistakes that I could have ever made. It not only damaged my physical health, but I was very close to getting mental health. I am not talking about anybody else. I am talking about me. The best place to live is Jamaica, is the Caribbean, is to identify with your people, is to speak the same language. If you want little water, you get little water. You can get piece of breadfruit, you can get 2 tomatoes. If you're sick, you can call your neighbor. There's nobody in Canada to help you. The only thing that Canada have is snow, taxes, and high rent. And silent racism. So no, to answer your question, me forgot to me not answer your question. No, me not miss Canada because there's nothing in Canada to miss. Going to Canada was one of the biggest mistakes that I have ever made, and it cost me my health.
Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have seen a very interesting story, and here its reaction, yours MIKEANN'S reaction. Thank you. As we proceed to react on this good and interesting story. So guys, I always say that we Africans, we have a lot of things that we can do it, and that we can see our own things. We have a lot of resources, a lot of material, and you can see Jamaicans people who are running to go in a different country like Canada, and some people, they found themselves there that they look like animals. You can't even talk with your neighbor because they see you like nothing. They criticize you. people in Canada, they criticize the people in Jamaica, so that Jamaicans, it is a high time they don't want to live in Canada. They want to back home. So who can help those people to come back in the country of Jamaica? Because we say that Jamaica has a good things, Jamaica has a resources, Jamaica has a talented, when we talk about music, when we talk about athletics, when we talk about different things, cultures. So it means that Jamaicans were good people, and they had a very good material. But the problem is that job opportunity, someone can say that, oh, here in Jamaica I don't have a job and I got a green pasture, so it's better to try in another country. Then you find yourself in Canada. Then after getting there in Canada, or after reaching in Canada, you got some things in different way. You got things that you are not expected, because maybe you expect that when I reach in Canada, I will find people in Canada, they will appreciate me, they will be happy with me. But when you reach there, they will see you like nothing. They will see you like you look like a shit in them. They will see you like you are not somebody, or you are not someone's people. But I want to tell you that people now, as we are talking now, they crying, they say that, oh, government of Jamaica can help them to come back home. They want to come back home. They want to live in their country. They missing the foods. They missing that unity that they had in their home or their country. And now, as we are talking, do you know that you can do things in your place peacefully, and you can do things in your place with all your mind? But if you are in another place, or if you are in another someone's place, you can't be free. You can't do something with freedom. Why? Because you are under law. You are under someone's law. You are under someone's caring, and even you look like you lose even your dignity, because what will you do so that you can come up with a good strategic? What will you do? Because if okay, for example, you got a green pasture as a teacher, you in your country, you say that I want to be a teacher, then you go there. Instead of being a teacher, it will come a place that you will be something. You will do like a job that is not good. They will they will see you like nothing. Why? Because you are in another country. It's better to live in your home, to sleep in your baddest thing, but you have peace of mind. Because if I have everything but I don't have a peace of mind, I'm doing nothing. Guys, I'm doing nothing. It's better to live even hungry, but I have peace, I have love, and I have harmony. Because Jamaica people had things, had material, had resources. Jamaicans people had good places, even talented people. When you see a big person crying and saying that I want to go back home, you will see what I mean, and you will understand what I'm saying about. Because as we are talking now, they crying each and every time that they don't want to live in Canada. They don't want to live in white people. They want to back home. So who can help them? Who can make them to feel at home? Who can make them to come back in home, in their country, in their place? So is only government can chip in to make sure that they come home. That is a good that's a good news, by the way, because each and every time you can hear your brother, I always say that you are brother's keeper, and you can't see your brother is crying, and yet you want to say that, oh, that guy is not my tribe, that guy is not my family member. Everyone see your brothers, sees everyone as your brother, see everyone as your friend. So Jamaicans people, we love you guys, we care you, we do things about you. So if you can see this video and to understand this video, you guys make sure that those people are coming back at home. You as MIKEANN'S reaction. Thank you until we meet again. But remember one thing, remember to subscribe, to like and to share. Thank you.